All right, cool. All right, back for his fourth interview, the man that proclaims himself as Sir Pimp Nuts, Mr. M80.
I want to start off by saying I feel like I really let everyone down in my third segment by not eating. And I made the mistake of eating prior to the interview. So I wanted to really go above and beyond. I got pizza, and I got chicken fettuccine Alfredo. I got some chicken wings, and I got some cinnamon buns shit.
Holy shit, man.
All the things.
What's funny is that you're not a weed head either. So, but this is like a killer spread if you did smoke weed.
It's part of my book, but I'm one of the few people, well, I mean, I can't be few, but I served prison time for weed, and it still dumbfounds me to this day.
Right. But anyways, yeah, you're right.
So, you know, I've smoked weed probably 10 times in the past 20-some years.
But you're right, though. People were very disappointed with the last interview because they said that I refuse to watch an interview with him if he's not eating.
I fully understand, and I'm sorry I let the world down. It will never happen again, I promise.
You see, there were people that were first complaining about you eating during interviews, but they got so used to it that it was absurd. You know what I mean? That you weren't eating for once. They were like, how dare he?
They thought it was disrespectful to you, but little do they know that I'm respecting my body. Yes, and that comes first.
What'd you think about the feedback from the last interview, man?
How's the feedback? Oh, it was very positive. Very positive. There wasn't so many like "fuck this guy" comments and "this guy's a culture vulture, fucking Jew bastard." It was more like perhaps I should do better with my life because this guy's fucking awesome. I converted the haters into realizationers.
I think the one feedback was the segment that you involved Killer Priest in and the other guy that was pounding the 400-pound Whopper. They didn't like that you said it was funny that he was why he was in prison. They said that's not a laughing matter.
Yeah, they're like, yes, is not a laughing matter, but you would have to know C-Rayz Walz to understand why I think it's funny. In itself, not a laughing matter. Prison in itself, not a laughing matter. It sucks. Okay, I've been there for fucking marijuana, not for sodomy and kidnapping and shit. But C-Rayz Walz always Mr. Untouchable and no one in the world can fuck with me and I'm the baddest motherfucker walking the planet and I'm the Sun Cycle MC, I'm the God. Yeah, God landed yourself up in prison for that is funny. So yes, people, to clarify my statement, that's funny when someone who thinks they can't get touched gets fucked in the worst way possible. That's funny.
Hey, do you know if he's actually the one that's in control of his social media or is someone else doing it? Because I still see posts.
Well, interestingly enough, I mean, he's the one writing the shit for sure. That's how he, how he does. But I'm sure in prison, he probably has access to like a computer lab and shit, or maybe a phone, on the low. But he has a manager because I remember when the story came out on Hip Hop DX about him being locked up and shit, like before he was sentenced, there was like some social media woman / manager that was writing to Hip Hop DX, like, how the fuck did you find this information?
Yeah, and you know what? Like, people have been asking me, they're like, yo, you should do an interview with him, figure it out somehow to make it happen. And I'm like, well, he copped out to lesser charges, but even if you look at the lesser charges, those are serious charges. So why would I want somebody like that on the platform, though? You know, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, see, people want to act like you have no morals, like you have no code, like if you were just doing interviews to do interviews, sure, go interview everyone and their mom. But I respect you because I believe that there's some kind of code here and you have some kind of, ethic base where it's like, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't want that element on my shit.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to go make another Almighty album and be like, hey, C-Rayz, you want to come back into the fold? No.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. What was the feedback like on the book so far?
Honest to God, I have not heard one negative comment. The majority of people like yourself, as soon as I announced that you could download it for free digitally, went to that. Even the people that bought it, just so they could kind of prep themselves until they had the physical in hand. But no, everyone loves it, dude. And like, Like, even though I mean, I intended for there to be some kind of structure with the chapters. Like, I kind of touch upon all the Chicago shit at once, all the Wu-Tang shit at once, all the East Coast shit, all the Midwest shit, and and then whatever the various stories at the end. But people are really like, dude, I will read like 2 or 3 chapters a night, digest it, start again the next day. Like, and like, it really gives me more of a like sense of appreciation for you, because no, it's not what people think, that I'm just someone that's good at making phone calls and emails and shit, and fucking somehow I built this amazing multi-million career. There's a lot of hustle, a lot of fucking street smarts, a lot of sales, and shit that goes into becoming me.
I have to say though, like, it's better than I thought it was going to be, and I had high expectations too. Okay, but once I started reading it, I was supposed to be editing interviews and stuff. I couldn't stop reading it. I was like, I had to force myself to stop. I was like, this is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, and trust me, my wife's intentionally not reading it, because she's like, I don't need to hear about you and your fucking sexual escapades. But yeah, it's just part of the life.
Which is so like off the cuff, like every single chapter, it's like about, oh, I'm writing about this artist. Next thing you know, let's see, this is a perfect segue, okay? One excerpt I would like to read from the book is, I turned down a threesome with this married chick, Corinne, I was fucking, who brought one of her friends over after a night out at the bars, asking if they could stay the night, and I made them leave. In hindsight, this was a mistake. I should have taken my frustrations out on their vagines and faces and had a more relaxing night's sleep. Which is just so crazy, because there's so many moments like this in the book where out of nowhere, I mean, you was talking about wanting to do one of your friend's moms at one point. You know what I'm saying? Or no, ex-girlfriend's moms, right? That's right. It was an ex-girlfriend's mom.
I just wrote my ex-fiance's mom right before this interview.
Oh, that's right.
For some reason, my ex-fiance and members of her family have been stalking me on Facebook this past week in the stories. And she lives like in the outskirts of Detroit, and I'm going to Detroit to work all week. So I'm like, okay. All right, like, did I all of a sudden become worth your time or something? I have not spoken to her once in 13 years. But context of what you just mentioned, I was producing a Kendrick Lamar concert for all of TDE. It's Kendrick, Absol, J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, special guest Kid Ink. I got like $125,000 into this. And this is like, sometime between like 2009 and 12, I think, in that 3-year span. I think it was 2012. And the night before the show, we're down. I mean, the venue holds like 8,000 people. We've sold like 4,000 some tickets, and we're down like at least 20 G's. And that's the shitty part about producing concerts. It's like, if I lose, essentially the cost of the ticket for me is the loss. So imagine if I paid $20,000 to see Kendrick Lamar and you paid $50, and I'm standing right next to you like, fuck, man. So that night, the girl comes over with one of her friends, and, they're all trashed and shit. Like, and I made them leave, because all I could think about was like, I better not fucking lose my ass tomorrow. And literally day of show, we had like 1,000+ walk-ups, and I made less than $2,000, but I didn't lose. So it was a bad investment. But this is like, people weren't, what's it called? Good Kid, Mad City was out, but it wasn't like Good Kid, Mad City as we know it today, where Kendrick could sell out 20, 30, 40, 50,000 stadiums. So if you were one of the 5,000 some people to see that in Indianapolis, you're welcome. Because the next time I booked Kendrick was at Deer Creek Amphitheater, now known as like the Ruoff Center, and that holds like 22,000.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many funny moments within the...
Like, in hindsight, I should have just, taken some moments to knock the genies out of the park. And I did not. That's how focused I was on my money, people.
There's so many moments in the book, though, that like, it's just so indicative of stuff that you would say in an interview. Like, you're right. It's almost like you're really talking to the person. It's not written in a...
Imagine me sitting in the room with you as you read the book.
Right, exactly. And it's so hilarious. It's just like, this is
blowing
really
my nose, wiping my snotty hands on you, all that shit.
For sure, man.